So, not many people know this, but I'm clairvoyant and I use a lot of tools to help communicate with the dead. And trying to make this really short. Basically, I use a pendulum to contact Elisa Lam. I had this very strong feeling um, after watching a documentary on Netflix, but also knowing her case from several years ago. I looked into it and was just baffled because the what I found on with the elevator was just really strange, and we all felt that. Um, so I have chapped lips, by the way. But anyways, so I used a pendulum last night, and I asked a lot of questions like, did you commit suicide? She had said no. Did someone kill her? She said yes. I asked her, does she know the person? She said no. Um, and then I said, did you meet with him or her online? And she said yes. I said, was it for like a job? She said yes. And that's when I kind of stopped because I just got very tired. And right now I'm very tired. I feel very um, emotionally drained because I tried to commute with her today. And the way I do this, I ask my spirit guides to basically bring her and invite her in and to communicate with me. And I use this app called Ghost Tube, and I have other several equipments, EVPs and equipment, and the Ovulus. If you don't know what this is, look it up. It's device tools used to communicate with spirits. So I do different things. I use physical tools, but I also use tools of clairvoyancy and mediumship. So by I'm not a person who knows everything because no psychic, no medium, no clairvoyant, no light worker, no starseed, I keep going, knows everything, right? But I can tell you that with these tools, I use them, and if I get a good response, I get a good response. Um, so I use this tool, Ghost Tube, and I was kind of hesitant on using it because it's an app, but you pay for it, and I've heard a lot of good things on reviews. And right away, it said killed, and then I said, all right, well, let's slow down. I want to invite Elisa Lam into this conversation. Please communicate with me. And I said my spiel, and then I said, if you're here, Elisa, please tell me you're here. And I waited about a minute or two, and it said hello. So she acknowledged that she was here. Um, I have this all recorded. I have it. You can record the sessions with the video using this app. So I have the sessions, and I would love to upload it somehow. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. You can only view it within the app, so I did write to them. I emailed them and asked if I can export the file some way. So, but anyways, so then I asked her, can you tell me what happened to you? Did you kill yourself? She said killed again, and then she said male, and that answered my question. She didn't kill herself. She was murdered. And tonight, I came up with the device again. I turned it off yesterday just for a little bit because it was really late at night, and I turned it on for the day. And I don't know what made me turn it on, but something made me turn it back on and use it again. And she was responding about, I asked, who it was. Was it a famous person? Can you tell me the name of the person if it was? It kept saying, help me. And then she said, Paul. And I was kind of intrigued by that. I'm like, Paul? Can you tell me the last name? Paul who? You know, tell me more. And then there was nothing coming back. She wasn't coming through. So I had to take a shower. This was Valentine's Day, and I was getting ready for dinner. to go with my partner for dinner. And so I left the device on, I left the app on, and I went to take a shower. And when I was done, I came back, finished, got dressed, and was playing the video, and I heard Paul again, and then it said Paul Thomas. So I kept that in my back of my mind, and then as we were driving to dinner, because this was a very long video, it takes me forever to get showered and ready, and we were driving to dinner, and I was listening to the video. Then it said Asia, and she happened to be Chinese, and then it said drowned. So she's acknowledging how she died, and she's saying Asia, acknowledging that she is Chinese, and it's really her. And I almost I was shaken and almost in tears, because I just couldn't believe it. So then I remember this Paul Thomas, and I said, okay. I mean, that's a first and that could be first. That could be two first names, or it could be, a full name, right? So I asked Google randomly. I said, "Hey Google, who's Paul Thomas?" And she goes and says he's an American director and writer that lives in LA. And she told me the age. He's 50 or 51. So, this was in 2013 that this happened. And I looked him up. Apparently he was engaged with Fiona Apple, or married, and he was very mentally abusive. She said that he'd never hit her, but he was very mentally abusive, made her feel wrong. He was very violent in the house, throwing chairs, a very heavy drug user. And the Cecil Hotel is known for drugs. And so I looked him up more. The films he made was a lot of psychological thrillers, a lot of crime shows, and then to rewind. Let me go back to rewind. I found this woman who was also in psychic medium. She did this reading. She kind of felt and see these images like I do of the person she's communicating with, which happened to be Elsa Lam. This was a year ago that she made this video. And she said that the person she sees has kind of like short brown hair, well, kind of long but short, shoulder length, maybe a little bit higher, brown hair. He kind of looked like a surfer dude. So I looked up Paul Thomas Anderson's last name, I guess. I don't know what it is. But I looked up his picture, and this guy has this surfer look, with his hair and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just a weird coincidence. And I'm not accusing him of this at all. It's just a coincidence. It's just weird. It's really, really weird. Because the things that she had said on this app, out of all the words in the dictionary, she says drowned, Asia, she was killed, and just acknowledging it was her, and then giving me a name who happens to be a very famous Hollywood writer and director who lives in LA. I mean, it just boggles my mind. And also I said, what made you want to come to LA? And a couple minutes later, because also energy takes a while to happen, and it takes a while for them to actually give an answer. So then all of a sudden I hear and see the word bribed. So was she like bribed in a way, I guess is the best way to describe this, to come from Vancouver to California? Was she offered a job or an opportunity from this film director? We don't know. There's nothing about checking her messages, and not enough information from police that's out there. it's like they just came up with a final conclusion of her being bipolar, and that's it. And it was an accidental death because of her bipolar. And me personally, I'm tired of people using, especially like cases, using mental illness as the only reason for a death or something happening, because it's a lot more than that, right? So they just closed it without actually looking deeper. And I don't know if they looked through her messages in Tumblr or social or Facebook. Um, she was a really active blogger. And also, it's very suspicious. Her cell phone is freaking missing. Like, who has her cell phone? The person that killed her, the person that wrote these messages. And who better yet would write, would hide these messages, would be someone that's famous or has lots of money, and hide evidence and destroy evidence. Um, and money can do a lot of things. It can make people shut up for the rest of their lives or create a story, because money is money, right? It's just so aggravating, and because I hate accusing someone or bringing up someone's name without actual evidence, because I don't have actual evidence. But it's very weird that she brought up the name, and it's something to me, and basically with his history of violence and drug use, and the things that he writes, it's something maybe to look into. So if anyone's watching this, please feel free to write a comment and let me know if you find anything interesting on Paul Thomas Anderson. Because the description from the last psychic was very much like him. And I just was just like, okay, this is just so weird. And so it just, it doesn't, and if you're watching this, it's because you're also very interested in Elsa Lam, and your heart is broken because there's no justice for her. You might believe she committed suicide. That's fine. That's your. If you believe that, you believe that. But if you don't believe she committed suicide and she was murdered, I think it's important for all of us to come together and try to open up this case again and get justice for her and her family. She was a person like all of us. Her life mattered, and it's not fair that, to me personally, I truly believe this was someone with power and money and influence that got away with this, and he needs to be punished. I mean, think about it. He pays a couple people to hide the body, right? Take this body, hide it somewhere, get rid of it for his sick games. And take a look at his movie history of the things he wrote. It's freaky. It's like, it's very weird. And, I just hope maybe this will start something. Maybe this will bring awareness. Maybe this will, pop some, you know, you know, uh, so this will bring something up again. Again, I'm not accusing him. I'm not saying that it's him for sure. I don't know. I have no physical actual evidence, because I don't know anything about the case. But I think the police should reopen this case. I think they should look deeper into her logs and her social media, and start with that. Hopefully they haven't been bought by Hollywood. Hopefully they weren't paid, but most likely they were. Who knows? Anyways, so that's what I've been finding. That's what I wanted to bring out, and hopefully maybe this will bring something. Again, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. Sorry, I'm exhausted. It's been a long day, and I've been meditating with this and trying to figure this out, because a lot of this at first I was like, okay, it's just random words coming up. But once she said Asia and she said drowning and she said, you know, just a lot of the things that she answered my questions directly, right? So that's when I was like, okay, this is something worth looking into. So we need to see her chat logs, right? We need to see that. Like, that should be public. And if the police won't do it, maybe we can do it. Maybe it takes a whole army of people who care to solve a crime and get justice and to stop this, and allowing the elite and the rich to get away with things. They get away with murder, they get away with crime, they get away with, you know, tax evasion and just a whole bunch of crap, right? It needs to stop. We can't allow the rich to keep getting away with this and the powerful get rid of this. Us, we are very powerful. And I'm speaking to light workers, starseeds, and other mediums. It's our duty not to just give tarot readings to individuals, but to help, but basically to help make our society better, to make it understand that the working people, the regular people that matter, their voices be heard, and and just enough is enough to be stopped taking advantage of. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully, maybe this made sense and maybe not. But this is, I had to record this. I had to post this. I don't know. I'm not looking for 100 views. I'm not looking for 10 views. I just need to post this on YouTube. I posted on his wife's Instagram. I said, can you ask your husband where he was in 2013? Was he in the Cecil Hotel by chance? Can you ask him for me? Because he has no social media, which is fine, but weird. And then I messaged Fiona Apple. If she's going to read it, who knows? But I said, Fiona, if you read this, please, drug use, Cecil Hotel, Elsa Lam, question mark. If any of this, or I said drug use. Did I say drug use? I don't remember if I said drug use, but I said drug use and violence, and I posted that as well. If any of this makes sense or triggers anything, please message me directly. It's urgent. So we'll see. Who knows? I could be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, I apologize to Mr. Mr. Anderson. I apologize, but your name came up. So let's see. We'll find out. But justice and peace for Elsa Lam and her family. That's #1 priority right now. Stay safe.